Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be reacting to another video. This one I am pumped about because lately I've been wanting to get into more rugby videos, learn a little bit more about rugby, and in that process I learned that there are two different types of rugby. There's the rugby union and the rugby league, and so I really don't know the difference between the two at all. You guys were also telling me in some of the comments, Australia typically is all the rugby league. That's your guys's, or that's the rugby you guys play. And around the rest of the world, it's a lot rugby union. I don't know, I may be wrong. So I'm hoping this video is going to give me some insight, some help into understanding some of the differences between the two. This is a similar type of video that we did with the cricket, and I'm probably going to have to rewatch it just because these types of videos tend to go really fast, and there's a lot of information in it. So I'm going to do my best to gather everything in one go. But yeah, I'm excited to learn about this. This is the difference between rugby union and rugby league explained. So let's get my ears on. We're going to get right into it. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can stay tuned on all my videos and when I post them twice a day. All right, let's get into it. As always, I will have the original video linked in the description if you would like to go check that out. But either way, let's get started.
The differences between rugby union and rugby league and a whole lot more. But first, a history lesson. Back in 1823, at a local football match in the town of Rugby, an English schoolboy named William Webb Ellis supposedly picked up the ball and ran with it. Pretty soon this became a popular game, and in 1871 led to the creation of the governing body known as the RFU, the Rugby Football Union.
Okay. I'm going to stop this a couple times just so I can process this too. 1871, the Rugby House, the RFU, Rugby Football Union. Try to remember that.
Of which still exists today. That's nice and all, but why are there two different kinds? Back then, there were two different kinds of players. Firstly, there were the amateurs. These were public school boys or people rich enough to play the game for free and who didn't need to be paid. Secondly, there were the professionals. These are the people who were so poor that they needed to be paid to play a child's game because they couldn't afford time off work. Nowadays, being a professional sportsman is quite a good job, but back then it was seen as worse than prostitution.
Really? Is that true? Because I've never heard that. I mean, I guess that would kind of make sense when you put it in that kind of context, but man, how times have changed.
Professionals were usually from the north of England, usually from Lancashire and Yorkshire. Pretty soon though, they realised that being paid money to play a game wasn't such a bad idea and started forming fully professional teams. The RFU, not happy that these northern professionals were beating the southern amateurs at their own game and being paid quite well for it, decided to ban professionals, ban professional sports teams, and anyone playing professionals or professional sports teams.
A little
the
harsh.
Professionals, not liking this, set up their own league in 1895 and called themselves the Northern Rugby Football Union.
Okay, so 1895, the Northern Rugby Football Union was created.
Later to be named Rugby League, whilst the RFU
Rugby
named
League,
their
that's
sport
what I meant,
Rugby
sorry.
Union. These two sports have been separate ever since 1895, and to this day you'll find most of the professional rugby league teams in the north of England and most of the professional rugby union teams located in the south. Okay, so what is the difference? In general, both kinds of rugby have the same idea. You have to run with the ball and touch it down onto your opponent's in-goal area to score. You can pass the ball sideways or backwards, but not forwards. The opponents have to stop you by grabbing the ball carrier and pulling him to the floor. The main difference between the two sports is what happens after the tackle. In rugby union, the tackle is contested. This means that as soon as a tackle has been made, the ball carrier must let go of the ball. This also means...
So this is the type of rugby I've seen, like when I've stumbled across games, I've seen it where they're like in this pile and the ball kind of squirts out the back. So that would be rugby union.
Means in theory that either player on either team can pick it up and run with it. This is known as the ruck, and it looks like a giant mess of bodies pushing each other and lying around on the floor a bit, and it is, sort of. In rugby league, however, the tackle is uncontested. After the ball carrier is tackled, the opponent must let go of him, and his team must retreat 10 metres. They must allow the ball carrier to kick the ball back to a teammate, and then they try and run forwards with the ball again. The team with the ball is allowed up to 6 tackles to score before the referee gives the ball to the other team so that they can have their 6 tackles.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense then. Because at first I was like, well, how does the other team get the ball? Okay, so yeah, 6 tackles. So it's kind of like American football, you know, in the NFL where you have 4 downs, right? You have 4 tries. I'm not, aside from all the first downs and all that, but this makes it easier for me to kind of grasp. Okay.
This might seem like a minor rule change, but this has resulted in two almost completely different sports.
Yeah.
Other differences include 15 men play in a rugby union team as opposed to 13 men in a rugby league team.
15 men in the union, 13 on the league. So in Australia, you guys typically have 13 men on your field then when you play?
5 points for a try in union, 4 points for a try in league, 3 points for a penalty kick in union, 2 points in league, 3 points for a drop goal in union, but only 1 point in league. There are many other rules that differ between the two codes of rugby, but those are the main ones you need to know about. American football fans who watch rugby league for the first time generally understand it very quickly, as these two sports are very similar.
That's
the same cannot be said about rugby union, which will forever confuse our American friends for years to come. So why did rugby league change the rules? If you remember the professionals of 1895, they needed to be paid. To make more money from spectators, they had to change the rules of the game to make it more exciting for spectators to watch. This includes reducing the scoring, reducing the number of men, and including an even amount of possession by limiting the tackles per team. This is why some people say that rugby league is more exciting to watch. Union fans would argue that they dumbed down the rules because their tiny little northern monkey brains couldn't understand rugby union, but this is certainly not the case. Union fans refer to rugby league players as idiots, whereas league fans think of union players as fat public schoolboys who can't take a hit. So what's more popular? Rugby union is the more popular sport as it's been around for longer. It's also the de facto code of rugby that you'll probably learn in school. Only a handful of countries play rugby league, and in fact, the only country where rugby league is more popular than rugby union is Australia. But in reality, when most people say rugby, they're usually referring to rugby union.
That kind of goes back to what I was saying before. The rugby that I've always kind of stumbled across, it seems, is the rugby union, but a lot of the recommendations and stuff from you guys, which are mostly my Australian fans, you guys have been recommending a lot of the league stuff. So that's where I kind of started to see, all right, there's two different types. So this is really cool to learn.
So which is better? To answer that question, let's use an analogy of chess and checkers.
Real quick, which one is better? Let me know in the comments.
Checkers, like rugby league, is a very simple game to understand. Every piece is the same, and they all have an equal role. It's a fast game, and you really don't need to be a genius to understand what's going on. Chess, like rugby union, is an infinitely more complicated game to understand. Some pieces are different than others and perform different roles. It's a much slower game, and it's all about strategy and tactics. You have to be more tactically aware to play rugby union, but you have to be fitter to play rugby league, as your job mainly consists of running with a ball and being smashed in the face for 80 minutes. So the question is, which do you prefer?
Yeah, so that's interesting, because whenever I've seen the rugby union, I've always, like, you kind of understand they're trying to get to the other side of the field. You know that, but I had no idea what the heck is going on. Just watching a little bit of the rugby league, it seems a lot easier for me to understand as an American.
Chess or checkers, rugby league or rugby union? The only way you'll truly know is to watch or play both kinds of games and deciding for yourself.
Awesome. Well, that was very cool. I learned quite a bit between the rugby union, rugby league. I didn't go as quick as I thought. I thought I was going to be overwhelmed. I got a little overwhelmed in the last cricket video, I believe by the same person. But this was very interesting. I definitely think that I will be able to understand rugby league a little bit better, a little bit quicker, kind of like the video said. So I definitely want to do some more rugby reactions to rugby league. I do want to look more into rugby union too. I think I need to maybe watch a couple games or maybe another kind of like understanding video on rugby union. Rugby league, I feel like I can get down. But either way, you guys send me some more recommendations. Send me the videos you like to see. Thank you so much for being here, guys. We're already at over 1,000 subscribers. This is unreal. It's amazing. I can't do it without you. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you guys can stay tuned on when I post my videos twice a day. If there's anybody out there who is Discord savvy and wants to shoot me a message over on Facebook to help me work into a Discord and see what we can do to get the channel a Discord server, please do that. I'm trying to do some new things here and get a Discord going and maybe some other stuff. So either way, thank you so much for being here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace, love. See you later.